everyone. Welcome to Freebird Spirit YouTube channel. Thanks for swinging by. Hey, I'm doing some deep dives, so you'll see some coming out in a row here. I am out of town, so I don't have my regular scheduled videos going on, our live streams and so forth, because I am out of town. However, I didn't want to miss out on hanging out with you guys, so this is what it's going to look like. I'm starting my birthday month, guys. The big 60 this year, so lots of fun celebrations and you know, you gotta find things to celebrate and find joy, right? So I don't miss out on that. I won't miss out on that. All right, so okay, so today's deep dive is going to be I wanted to look into the energy surrounding 45, Mr. Felon, for entertainment purposes only, for the next few months. So you have August, September, October, I wanted to look at specifically. So let's go ahead and dive into that energy. Come on with me. Come on in here with me. All right. It's like it's in his throat. It's like his stomach is in his throat, that feeling of in his throat. I feel this is he's maneuvering through, he's navigating through a tower moment in his life right now, trying to find his footing. However, that being said, he's very attached to his narrative. I don't know how else to say that. He's just very attached to his narrative and what he says. And every time he gets up to speak, it's just all lies. It's so interesting, but he's very attached to that narrative. He doesn't care about that. However, inside there, when I stepped into his energy, his stomach was in his throat. So that to me is like, caught in something. So where you can't get out of that. Okay. So I'm going to throw cards, the big old spread that I do for these deep dives to give us more of the story, to kind of give us some ideas of what's happening. And then but before we do that, hold on for a second. I had to pause because you don't want to look at me staring, but I wanted to understand what I was being shown here. There's a lot of acting going on, a lot of performing, a lot of performance and acting. So be careful on what you are watching and if it's true or not. Now, I'm not a conspiracy theory person in general, like I steer away from that. So whatever this message coming in is, it's very much that there's a lot of performing going on right now. So be aware of that. It's like they're creating a reality. They're creating their own reality and hoping to move the masses, okay, with their narrative. So that's kind of what they're showing with this. And so we're going to see a lot of this playing out in the next few months. And I feel like we're going to hear some, like, we need some fact checking with him. You know what I mean? So his base it can be fact checked in time, but I just don't see that. But anyways, all right, I'm going to throw the cards now, but I wanted to show that real quick. All right, guys, I need your help on this. It's pretty interesting. So I did that deep dive spread thing that I do. And I have cards everywhere because I wanted to layer. So I'm going to have a layer, but I didn't have room. Anyway, you don't need to know that. All right, here we go. So right here in the middle, we have the Knight of Swords and the Plateau card and just dark energy, shadow energy coming in there. But really, there's been an impact on their movement, right? And so it's come to plateau. It's like stop them, right? So they were momentum cut short. And so they're really looking at trying to change that trajectory. And so, yeah, so with this action coming in, that's really a universal action coming in, this positive energy coming in, is causing them to go, their shadow to come out. All right. So this is the positive. This is above and beyond them. They can't. You have that universal. This energy cannot be stopped, but it has thrown them here, right? So this is where he is, and I say them, but as far as whatever. And on the other side of what's current, like right now with him, is you have you have the world leaders, and they're in reverse. So you have the shady world leaders, the ones that are not, that they have this whole dark plan, trying to magically smooth things out. So we're going to see that, and they are trying to do this. So they're trying to figure out how to smooth this out, what's currently taking place, right? You have this going on here. So you have the Five of Pentacles, this Secret Service stuff, and the Five of Pentacles. I mean, and the ruler. So they really are, they're hitting what we would consider like a huge roadblock. This whole connection, whatever's going on that is kind of shady, they're hitting a roadblock. Okay. And so what we're going to be seeing over this time is them trying to repair this, but he's going to find himself in the defensive, in the defense, trying to defend himself. And that's that. This is orange. This color is orange. And then the repairman, their whole goal is to repair this, but you see he's in that defensive mode. You have they are targeting him for some of his action. They are, and but we're going to see, with this too, is we're going to see it's just they're trying to create chaos, right? It's just chaos around him. But I want you guys to see this. This came out. It generally does with him when I do any readings for him, that he can't run from what is there. So if this is the Epstein stuff, which you would think that alone would come on, like would stop this trajectory for him. You know what I mean? Like, why is he even on the ticket anymore? He should be in jail, with this Epstein stuff coming out. But I get this every time for him. he can't get away from this. It just, he can't. But we're going to see a lot of manipulation, is exactly what they were showing me earlier before I threw any cards. They're literally working on trying to manipulate the narrative. And, we see that all the time. But it's going to continue. But he's not alone. Like, that's the weird thing. Like, there's he's one of the puppets, right? So he's a puppet in this. So there's a whole backing, and so that's what we wanna see. That gave me an idea. Hold on, I'm gonna look at that. Ooh, this energy, you guys. So I threw some cards on, since he's like the puppet. So who's the puppet? Tell us a little bit more about this puppet master, this whole underlining shadow part, right? All right. So they're trying to take back power. And so they're coming in with, so this is their movement, is to take back power. They're throwing a lot of money at it. They're trying to create this reality for them and push their narrative. Okay, so this is what I'm looking at with this, and I'm going to tell you who they are in just a second because it came through. But this is their plan. So you have the sun, the fish, and the pathways, and that's where this is the Lenormand. Okay. And with that, then you move into who are they? They are a hidden faction, or not so hidden anymore because they're coming out into public. And I said, if this is part of that Christian nationalist movement, but there's a lot of I'm seeing a lot of different entities that are a part of the whole here, and that this is old, you guys. This is not just, oh, it just came up this last year. They're showing me this is hundreds of years, like, of these underground, behind closed doors uh entities that have this mindset. But and so this is, and they're controlling him. They're the ones that are in control of him. Okay. So that's so he's just puppet right on there. They're trying to manipulate what you know. So if you want to kind of dive into this a little more on your own, do. I haven't, but what I'm receiving today is they're trying to manipulate what we believe and what we know. It's the same old game, but in a new era. If you went back to the 1700s or wherever, they're they manipulate the narrative so you believe, you know what I mean, so they can get rid of a group of people, you know what I mean, so that you only know what you are told, right? So that's what they're still trying to do. However, it's really tricky now because we have access to so much, not we have access to so much information, and so it's a little bit trickier. But they are literally trying to control. Still, it's the same tools that they've been using for years and for hundreds and hundreds of years. But that's what they're trying to do. So they're trying to manipulate that. Okay. And they're trying to keep that cycle of entrapment on us so they can control the narrative and the money and the power. Okay. They're trying to keep us in the illusion and delusion of this. And so they're throwing the dark money on him on 45 here. Okay. This is the orange card again. So they're throwing that dark money on him again, on him, because he seems to be the right puppet. However, and they're trying to create chaos so they can sweep in and go, well, see, you know, so part of their narrative is trying to do this chaos thing to so they can come in and sweep up and go, you know, those liberals, you know, they're doing it, but they're not. So bad guy, guilty. They're not, this is not a good group of people. Anyways, I kind of diverted from what I was coming on to do, but it's the direction I went. So we're gonna just see more of that playing out over the next few months. Now, I know that some of you are gonna go, well, what about 45? What about felon 34's health over the next? Because, you know, we heard that his health was gonna kind of decline. Well, you are seeing that kind of play out already, so that's not even a psychic thing that I need to dive in psychically here or intuitively. You see him falling asleep at his own RNC. You can see his decline already happening. Also cognitive decline. And he's very good at getting on these PowerPoints, these power phrases, and he'll stick with those. And so you'll hear him say those over and over again. But for those of you I know are going to ask, I'm going to throw some cards for you. Okay. All right. So I do feel that they will continue to, over the next few months, again, create their own narrative to what is taking place in regard to his health, to 45's health. So they will continue to create their own narrative here. All right. But this was the first card out. So you have that heart. So there's some kind of heart issue that we kind of all are. You know, that's on my 2024 predictions. I think I was shown something in regard to that heart, but these two cards came out for him. So his future is kind of being bulldozed out. So you have that at that tunnel. So the tunnel is closing in, is what I'm seeing with this. It's being bulldozed. So any type of future there's going to be a stop to that, but we're not, I don't know that we'll hear about it because again, they're controlling the narrative here. I pulled this card for clarification here, and this card is talking about a false narrative, right? In any other given reading, it's talking about releasing a false narrative and take back your wings. But in this reading, I really felt like what they were trying to say, they're going to be putting a false narrative out of what's really happening. Yeah, so we may hear a little bit of that. Okay. Well, thank you for hanging out with me on this short deep dive. And I look forward to doing some more here. So you'll probably see me wearing this in every single one. So it's okay. Anyways, I love you all. Thank you for your unconditional love and support. And yeah, I'll see you on the next one. Bye.